So my one buddy feels like if you're ever going to run a mage and he's not even a power player, he's not even like a metagamer, but if you're going to play a mage in Baldur's Gate, you need to be wild mage. And his thought is, look, you can manage or mitigate the mist casts and the surges on there, and even when they do surge, there's at least a 10 or 15% chance of it being something good or not quite catastrophic on there. But what you gain in terms of spells and the ability to mega cast a spell is huge, especially as it stacks up and it moves up on there. I'm in somewhat agreement on there. And this is primarily when I'm playing Baldur's Gate, if I just kind of want to, I'm not trying to do anything specific, right? Sometimes I want to do a run with a certain class or I want to try out certain builds. But if having run through the game a number of times, if it's like, you know what, I just want to take my time and enjoy the story and try to immerse myself into what's going on in each chapter, in each act, I usually play a mage on there. And this is also a holdover from tabletop AD&D. I'm usually playing a magic user. I'm playing a mage on that aspect from there. And I have to agree that, and if I'm wrong in the comments or you see differently, absolutely. I can't see playing a specialized mage. I know you get a little bit of a spell bonus on there, and you get a little bit of the saving throw difficulty checks. You lose a spell school. Some of the spell schools are more important than others in Baldur's Gate, like to lose damage dealing spells in favor of anything else is massively a massive mistake on there. It's not, I understand what they're trying to do for the narrative or what they were trying to do, but it's specialized mages outside of role-playing, outside of narrative. They don't really work that well. I mean, I have played my Necromancer, Harmonious Bach, and it's kind of cool because I dress up in the spooky robes and all that type of stuff, and he's kind of the evil archmage, but pure meta, pure math hammer, not as effective. So being a regular mage, and we're going to put sorcerer and the subclasses aside for a second because that's different. The whole idea of being a regular mage is essentially you control the spells you cast on there. I have access to all the spells, and whatever I select on there, whatever I scribe and memorize, I have access to it, and it's going to cast off, unless it gets interrupted, obviously, but it's going to cast off. As soon as we move into Wild Mage, it becomes a little bit more challenging. So the question with the Wild Mage is, are you willing to risk those kind of crazy miscasts on there? And for me, it's not even so much being able to pop off any type of spell. I mean, there have been a couple of times in various runs where, for whatever reason, I'm overwhelmed. I've blown through most of my spells. I've utilized some wands, or based on the encounter, I don't want to utilize some wands. So in a last-ditch effort, I'm gonna, mega cast Fireball, or if I don't have the stats yet, I'm gonna cast Cloud Kill on there, Baldur's Gate 1, and I'm gonna push that out. It's probably not gonna cast. If it does cast, who knows? And if I'm in that much trouble, let's be honest, is that really going to save the day? So this illusion that you can Apocalypse Strike, I mean, you can, it'll be fun, but I don't really think it's going to change the game. And by the time you get some of the higher level spells, when you move into spell level 7, 8, and 9, that's on there, you kind of already have enough of those spells anyway, and you have ways to get more spells, and you have certain wands and things like that. I find that ability to Apocalypse cast less important than we might think. So it comes back to the random on there. It really does come back to the random and the bonus spells. Does that make that much of a difference? And again, there's certain items that are going to boost your spells, whether it's outright, like the Ring of Spell Storing that you find early on, or whether it's, or Spell Mastery, whatever they call it, or later in the saga, Baldur's Gate 2, various staffs and items that are going to auto-cast and boost your spells. So I don't think you're losing that much on there. Essentially, it comes down, in my opinion, to the narrative. Can you tolerate the quirkiness? Can you tolerate the wild surges on there? If you're playing a no reload run, I don't know. Do you want that much pain? I think your time would be better spent having playing some other character classes and some other things on there. If you don't mind constant potential reloads because you lose your gold or something crazy happens on there, then okay, no problem. I will say this, if you are playing a wild mage, you better have a regular backup. As you move through, I won't say like every 10 seconds, obviously, but most major encounters or after you've successfully chewed through some monsters and some encounters, save. So when you do get nuked with the random, you don't backtrack that much. There's been a couple of times where, I've got the sound up, got the surround sound, I'm immersed in the game, I'm role-playing it out, I'm exploring all the options, and I realize I haven't really saved in a while. And I realize that because, I died on a wild surge or something crazy, I reload, and I'm I'm that far back, 10, 15 minutes, whatever. Something to keep in mind. You have to be good at managing those auto saves in playing it.